Hi, as you can see, today we're in front of a keyboard, and thanks to this keyboard I will try to explain the two very important concepts of scales and tonality that, as we saw last time, will be the concepts that will enlighten us and they will allow us to understand the relationship between the different chords, which, as we said previously, is one of the basic aspects to look out for when beginning to master chords and to understand how to build them, build the notes you can see on this keyboard, which are themselves tied into this scale, which corresponds personally to this octave, are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So this scale, which I just played for you, it's very simple, and I told you the corresponding name of each note is the C major scale, which you surely already know, because almost everyone knows it, and it's the first thing you learn, even when you're quite small, maybe even in school. It's the succession of notes from a C note to the next C note of the following octave: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So first off, where can we start off? What is a music scale, we should ask ourselves. This is the first concept that we have to clear out and to understand, which I would like to explain, to understand the relationship between chords. The very complex relationship between chords. A musical scale is nothing more than a set of notes comprised in a singular octave, in this case from the C to the next C note, and in this particular case the number of notes that comprise the C major scale is of 7 notes: C1, D2, E3, F4, G5, A6 and B7. Seventh note. These are the 7 notes of the C major scale. It's much more correct to call them degrees rather than notes. Each of these degrees in the scale has a very specific name. We shall see them one by one. Right now, which the first degree is tonic, for the second degree it's supertonic, for the third degree it's mediant, for the fourth degree it's subdominant, for the fifth degree it's dominant, for the sixth degree the submediant, and for the seventh degree the name is leading. So right now you must be wondering what these names mean. You must be asking yourself, what is their importance to me? Dominant, tonic, subdominant, what do they mean? Taken only by their name, these degrees don't actually mean anything. That's why we have to understand the very complex and very extremely important relationship between the notes to understand the importance of these names by introducing the concept of tonality, the extremely and basic and essential concept of tonality. What does it mean actually to be in the C major tonality? It means, very simply, that we're inside a system of relationships between the various sounds, the sounds we hear. In this case, the various degrees of the C major scale, which all revolve around a sound which is more important than the others, which in this case, the sound in question is the tonic note, the first degree, the C major note which I just played, which lends its name to the scale and the key, because of its very, very, very strong importance inside the scale and the tonality. There are 3 notes, actually let's call them degrees rather than notes, which have different and varying importance. A sort of internal hierarchy inside the scale. The 3 degrees that have the stronger importance in the C major scale are, respectively, in the C major scale in this case are the tonic, the dominant, and the leading. These degrees, these 3 degrees, the first degree, which is the tonic, the 5th degree, which is the dominant, and the 7th degree, which is the leading, are the degrees which constitute, or in a certain way have a stronger weight. Let's see them one by one and analyze them in depth. First off, the tonic, which is the most important note and is the one note that gives and lends its name to the whole scale and the whole tonality, has a role, we could say, of a certain role of resolution, of ending, of finality, of rest. As if we play, for example, if we play a progression of notes pertaining to the C major scale, we can hear that C is the resolution and conclusion phase of the whole melody, because it has a very important rest role and a feeling of rest inside the scale. So this is the role inherent of the tonic note in every scale, which means that all the other notes, all the other 6 notes of the C major scale, somewhat revolve around the tonic, and they lean towards the tonic because it has a resolution strength to its sound. We could say that the tonic note attracts the other notes toward itself. The 5th degree, the dominant note, has a very different meaning. Almost opposite, we could say, which means it has a tendency to move towards the tonic.